Receiving simulator transmission. Uploading transmitted feed. Initializing playback sequence. Alright Seipher, we're ready.
Hey everyone, Seipher here, and welcome back to Seipher Plays Kingdom Hearts 2. In the last episode, we went back along the path we've traveled to restore the first of 100 Acrewood's torn pages, dived back into the Underworld to compete in the first of the Underworld's tournaments, the Pain and Panic Cup, explored the capabilities of our newest drive form, Wisdom form, and ultimately unlocked a path forward to a world that we will not be visiting today. Instead, this time we're going to be opening up another path and touching down in a new world. However, before we do that, I do have to just take a moment to apologize if you hear any background noise, thunder, lightning, and rain. Well, thunder and rain. I am currently in the middle of a storm, but I need to get this recorded, so let's just get into this. Going to be going into Floating Island. And I have prepared for this eventuality. Hopefully my ship is up to the task.
Bring it on!
So far, so good. Not really anything to worry about. Not that the first time through a gummy route is ever really any danger. This is certainly taking longer than I remember, but most of the gummy routes have to that respect. Alright, not too bad. A bit slower than I remember, but not bad at all. Got the mission levels from that. I went level 5. I went level 6. Falcon level 5. And Falcon level 6. And a cost limit upgrade that'll allow us to build more elaborate gummy ships. Not that I really subject you guys to the process of creating these ships, since really you don't need to worry about it unless you need to get the upgrades. But I'll cover getting treasures and ranks and all that for if you're playing the normal version a bit later on. Anyway, we have a new world, Port Royal, based on Pirates of the Caribbean. Let's go.
Wow! This place is
kinda different.
something's up.
Organization 13?
On the heartless. Only one way to find out.
Okay, so yes, this world is very different and certainly uses a much more muted green. If we examine for use in the event of a pirate attack, Commodore Norrington. Well, before we actually get into things, I do have a few grind gains because I did spend all of off screen after our last episode getting my current drive forms up to their maximum level. I will still make use of them when needed, but I figured you didn't want to sit around watching me grind these, so I took care of it myself. Wisdom form up to level 4 and Valor form up to level 4. From doing so, Sora grew 1 level, gaining magic and defense. From grinding the forms, he also got quick run level 1 from getting up to level 4 of his wisdom form. He also got a combo plus from getting Valor form up to level 4, and MP Rage from getting wisdom form up to level 4. So all in all, pretty good. I'm actually really glad to have quick run now because it's basically the game's equivalent of dodge roll, but if you're not playing the Final Mix version, makes moving about a lot easier. In terms of Donald and Goofy, they each grew 2 levels. Donald gained magic, strength, and defense, and Goofy gained defense and strength. Anyway, let's get the naval map over here, since we're at the rampart. And before we head off, there is going to be, I believe, another chest over here that has an ether for us. And then over here, hidden behind this corner, is a mithril stone that we definitely want to grab. Can't go this way, so we'll have to make use of the only exit that this place has. Well, the only other exit.
Aztec treasury?
Aye, and thanks to the curse put on it, we are neither among the living nor the dead.
Really? 'Cause you look like regular pirates to me.
Ah, but in the moonlight.
Whoa! Now I get what you were saying. Well, if you see 2 doofuses and a brat holding a Keyblade, steer clear. They got a kind of magic that don't belong in this world, see? And nobody knows what it'll do to you, especially when the moon's showing what you really are.
A match for Barbossa, you say?
Hey!
See there? I knew it. Those are the punks I was telling you about.
Who are you calling punks? It's Sora, Donald, and Goofy to you, and don't you forget it.
That we won't. And we'll engrave it on your tombstone, to be sure.
Whoa, I like your style.
Men, half of you stay here and indulge these cullies. The rest, bring me that medallion.
Aye!
Aw, we only get to stomp on a few of you?
The Heartless and the Nobodies aren't our only enemies. Say hello to the Undead Pirates. These guys are not like typical enemies, being completely immune to damage unless they're exposed to moonlight, like Pete said. They come in a few varieties: a close-range fighter with 2 hatchets, a mid-range fighter who uses a knife up close and bombs from afar, and a long-range fighter who uses a rifle. The close-range pirate and the long-range pirate have reaction commands to counter their fighting styles. The mid-range pirate's bombs can be used against them. As Pete suggested, they're also vulnerable to magic, so we'll want to make use of that when we can. Thunder will cause them to walk around all weird-like. And shock anyone.
It's no use. We can't beat them.
Aye, what do you expect? You best be saying your prayers. Hey, watch out, they can see you. Stay away from their magic. What for? Weren't you listening to me before?
Hey, Pete, thanks for the tip.
So yeah, now that they're actually showing their true colors, we can shock them with thunder, electrifying them and causing them to zap others. We can use fire to get them to run around on fire and trip on each other and objects. And Blizzard will freeze them and immobilize them for up to 5 seconds, so it can be pretty good. They can only be defeated while the moon is out. Hey, this ain't over. If Pete's here, that must mean we have work to do. Yep. And that pirate captain looked pretty mean too. Man, I'd hate to see him turn into a Heartless. Well, we are here. Hey, maybe we can take a pirate ship out for a spin. Just kidding. Weren't those guys headed into town? Yeah, I think they were looking for treasure. That bit of kidding I don't think is actual kidding from Sora, given that what we saw in his room back in the first game showed that he does sort of have a love for pirates, him and Kairi. Anyway, with that done, let's head across the bridge and into town.
Where are you taking me? Let me go!
Elizabeth! Stop! What are they?
We'll deal with them. Go, take cover.
So, yep, we have Heartless to deal with, and while it's mostly shadows here, we will soon have a new enemy, I believe, as soon as one appears. Yes, the Heartless have a mortar squad now. Say hello to the cannon guns. Befitting artillery, these guys like to keep at a distance and rain fire from afar, and are fairly simple. Both of their attacks are fairly straightforward and deal fire damage. Well done. My own fencing skills are not to be ashamed of, but I've never faced foes such as these before. You really think that we're that good? Did you ever find your friend? I was too late, but I must rescue her. Would you help me? Of course. I'm Sora. This is Donald and Goofy. And I'm William Turner, but call me Will. Okay, Will, let's go. Right. We've got to get to the docks. Okay, to finish up what I was saying about the cannon guns, since I got cut off due to the battle ending. Both of their attacks are straightforward. They deal fire damage. Their attacks consist of launching a bomb high in the air to drop on your head, noted by a target emblem on the ground, and orienting their cannon bodies horizontally and firing a cannonball. Fitting a cannon, these guys drop blazing stones at a base 6% of the time and bright stones at a base 3% of the time. I will say, if you used Wisdom Form in that fight and you haven't reverted, use the eastern exit of this map. It's a little hard to see since we're kind of locked in right now, but you can return to the rampart and use the save point to leave the world. Anyway, we have a few things to collect now that we're free to walk around town as we like. Not there. Ah, there's some junk here that we can destroy. And some more cannon guns to take care of, along with a undead pirate. Let's see here now. There should be off this way more cannon guns and a cannon gun and some shadows. Like I said, this leads back to the ramparts. There's some junk over here that I believe we can easily destroy to reveal a chest that has a mithril shard for us. And then over here is more junk and some cannon guns to take care of, so let's clear them out. And we got a blazing stone, that's good to have. We'll want to drop that off later, but in here is another chest. This one has an AP boost, so let's make use of that real quick. And then following that, there is some more junk over this way. We can break up for another alcove. That has another chest for us. This one will give us a mithril gem, first of its kind, so I want to keep that. There's a chest over here with an ether. And then we should follow the path out. And I guess I already destroyed that, the junk that was blocking this path, so we have a shortcut back to the rampart. Let's head toward the harbor.
We're too late.
Huh?
Those pirates kidnapped Miss Swan and took her to their ship. Now they've sailed, and I'll never be able to find her.
Then she's long gone. The Black Pearl is nigh uncatchable. Best find yourself another girl, mate.
You? What are you doing aboard the Interceptor? She's off limits to civilians.
Ah, fortunate that I'm going to commandeer her then. She'll make a fine pirate ship.
A pirate?
Captain Jack Sparrow, if you please.
Take me with you. Help me hunt down the Black Pearl and save Miss Swan. I got you out of that jail cell, Sparrow. Do this, and your debt's repaid.
You'll have to win fair lady's heart alone, mate. I see no profit in it for me.
Come on, Captain.
Are you sure you can sail her? All on your own?
You've a point there.
Thanks, Sparrow.
Captain Sparrow.
I'm Sora. This is Donald and Goofy.
I'm Will Turner.
That will be short for William, I imagine. No doubt name for your father, eh?
Yes.
Well then, Mr. Turner, you get us ready to make way. I have some effects to liberate.
Aye, aye. But hurry!
Naturally.
You really want to be a pirate?
Of course not.
What do you make of this Will?
I don't know. We just met him.
I think my luck's about to change.
So yeah, we now have Jack in the party, and I'm going to keep him in place of... You know what, let's swap Donald out for right now. We'll add him back later, even though I do want to show off a bit more of wisdom form. Anyway, Jack is our newest party member, the Pirate Lord of the Caribbean, Jack Sparrow. Being a pirate, Jack is a naturally offensive party member, putting most of his strength into, well, strength and defense with nothing of magic to really make note of. He is an offensive close to mid-range combatant. In terms of his abilities, Jack's action abilities consist of No Mercy, Rainstorm, and Bone Smash to devastate enemies with his sword, knives, and bombs, respectively. He also has a bunch of support abilities to help him out, or that are befitting of a pirate, such as Draw, Lucky, Item Boost to boost his items, Draw to bring in orbs to him, and Lucky to make it so that we get some better drops off of him. Seeing as he has this, we'll definitely want to make use of it, as with our own Lucky from the Lucky Ring that we got in the end of last episode, it'll make getting synthesis materials much easier from the enemies that we'll be encountering. Now then, he also has Defender and Auto Limit, as well as Auto Healing to help him function in combat, though he doesn't have any of them equipped currently. I would recommend later on swapping out one of his draws for Defender at the very least, but we'll ignore that for right now. His limit command, Treasure Isle, has Jack summon a treasure chest that creates a trapping vortex that allows him and Sora to devastate enemies with melee attacks and explosions in a rather flashy display. Then again, all limit commands are pretty much flashy. His starting stats, HP of 50, MP of 100. He also has one armor slot and one accessory slot, so he's a bit more balanced in that regard compared to other party members. And he comes stocked with 4 item slots, all filled with potions. I'm going to pilfer those for my taking, just because I like to do that with new party members, and I'll give them back if I need to for particular fights, which I do think we will need to do so for Jack. Anyway, all in all, he's a pretty solid, if somewhat bland party member, given he focuses a lot on draw to bring in stuff to him, but that's very fitting in his personality. Befitting that description, though, he's obviously not portrayed here by his original actor, Johnny Depp. Instead, he's voiced by notable voice actor James Arnold Taylor, who I know best from the cartoon Johnny Test, though I wish I didn't. Anyway, let's get a move on. We're just going to talk to Will and leave. We have to hurry and rescue Miss Swan. Are you ready to leave port? I'm ready.
You can release me. You have your trinket. I'm of no further value to you.
This is no trinket, Missy. This is cursed Aztec gold. One of 882 identical pieces they delivered in a stone chest to Cortez himself.
I hardly believe in ghost stories anymore, Captain Barbosa.
That's exactly what I thought. Buried on an island of dead, what cannot be found except for those who know where it is. Find it we did. There be the chest. Inside be the gold. And we took 'em all. We spent 'em and traded 'em and fritted 'em away on drink and food and pleasurable company. The more we gave 'em away, the more we came to realize the drink would not satisfy, and food turned to ash in our mouths. We are cursed men, Miss Turner. Compelled by greed we were, but now we are consumed by it.
How very sad for you.
There is one way we can end our curse. All the scattered pieces of the Aztec gold must be gathered and restored to the stone chest. And the blood of every soul who touched a piece of the treasure must be repaid. Miss Turner, for 10 years we've searched every league of these waters, every town and village, preying on sailors and settlers alike. 881 pieces we found, but despaired of ever finding the last. All those years, you've been safe in your bed, reading your pirate stories, dreaming of adventures in the high seas. We've endured torments worse than death itself. But now, thanks to ye, we have the final piece at last. When this medallion is restored to the chest, we'll be free to roam the seas as men. No longer will we be ghosts.
And the blood that's to be repaid?
That's why there's no sense to be killing you. Yet. You see, the moonlight shows us for what we really are. We're not among the living, and so we cannot die. But neither are we dead. I've suffered too long. You'd best start believing in ghost stories, Miss Turner. For you see, tonight, you're in one.
Well, welcome to the Interceptor, where we see our friends are currently walking about, and Will is at the helm. Well, sorry, not Will, that's Jack. I don't know how I got them confused. Anyway, let's talk to Donald. If you want to change our course, why don't you try asking? It sure is a lot of work to move a ship, though. I'm pooped. That it is, Donald, that it is. What do you have to say, Goofy? If you get tired, you can rest in the cargo hold below. Even if enemies attack, you should be safe there. Well, that is an important feature to note, as I am sure we will have some battling on deck to do. And what do you have to say, Will? I fought with Jack once. Afterwards, he was sent to jail. He didn't stay in there long, though. He's a pirate to the core. That he is. Anyway, we want to go below deck to the ship's hold before we end things off, because there is a Moogle shop here. So let's drop off some new synthesis materials. We got dark shards can now be purchased at the shops for completing the collection, because we've gotten at least 30 of them in total. So that's good to know, I guess. And we now have a total of 19 different types. That is what I would expect. Anyway, the more important thing here is that this shop has some new weapons for Donald and Goofy in the Victory Bell, so we'll get one of those. And the Chain Gear. Now, this is the same as the Falling Star, it's just a bigger shield, so it allows Goofy to block more attacks. So you'll definitely, if you're hurting for money, I wouldn't recommend getting the chain gear, but if you have money to spend, get it so that you can basically have the same stats, just better protection for Goofy. And then obviously I have dark shards to purchase for 100 money, but I don't think I'll be needing that. It's kind of worthless since by the time you get this ability to buy dark shards, you probably have more than enough for everything that you'll ever need. There are some exceptions, though. I'm sure that there are recipes that you would want to make over and over again that you definitely could just want to save the hassle and buy a bunch of synthesis materials. But anyway, with that, I'd say we reached a well-deserved break. Next time, we'll set sail to chase down the Black Pearl. I want to thank you all for watching. Until next time, stay gold.
Playback sequence terminated. Transmission disconnected.